11 days after stabbing her husband, Susan Wright turned herself into police with every intention of pleading not guilty. Neil Davis at this point released a statement on Susan's behalf, stating that she had been abused by her husband Jeff for upwards of 4 years leading up to his death. She's going to argue that anyone who went through what she went through would snap.
Okay.
And when Susan took the stand, it was obvious that for a year she had been prepping very hard with her lawyer. She does not miss a beat. That is the story she tells. How Jeff had come home that night, how he was hitting their son. Jeff came at her with a knife, and she fought back thinking it's either him or me, and that the reason she didn't go to the police right after was because she was having a mental break and still literally confused, thinking that her husband was gonna be able to get to her and her kids at some point. The prosecution sees holes in Susan's story, holes that would convince them that Susan wasn't being totally honest. This hinged on two giant things found on Jeff after he died. Number one, he had ties on his wrists and feet. If a body is already dead, why would you tie the feet and wrists up? Number two, they find red candle wax on his genitals. So this is where the prosecution comes in. They said, we're not even really arguing that she wasn't abused by him. What we're arguing is that this was not self-defense, this was premeditated.
First degree premeditated murder.
So on the most shocking day of the trial, prosecutor Kelly Siegler had the Wrights' blood-stained mattress and bed set rolled into the courtroom to show a reenactment.
What the freak?
And began recreating her own version of what happened that night, the prosecution's theory, one that seemed convincing enough for the jury. After 5 hours of deliberation, they came back with a verdict. They found Susan Wright guilty of murder in the first degree. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison.